And so we are continuing our journey through the 99 names. And today's name, is touching on the subject of concentration. So that's going to be our theme for tonight, for this session. Concentration. So really invite you in the dances and practices that we do to, in all compassion and gentleness towards yourself, keep bringing yourself back to presence and awareness. If you notice that your mind wanders, just bring it back to the practice. We're going to be doing some practices which are quite, what's the word? Samey.
Samey. Yeah, trying to avoid the word boring, I think you were there, weren't you?
I wasn't anywhere near boring.
Monotonous. No. Practices which encourage us to focus,
Concentrate,
maintain our concentration,
and to stay present. So, as I said, just to reiterate, just be kind and gentle to yourself if you find that your mind does wander, and just bring it back. That's the invitation. Anything else you'd like to say at this point before we invoke?
I guess what are the benefits of developing our powers of concentration? What's the point?
Well, I think we'll come to that.
Okay.
Come on, you can say something if you want, but I thought we could start.
You've got to keep everyone on tenterhooks just in case they didn't already realise.
Well,
there is a benefit to developing the powers of concentration. It allows us to stay present and not get distracted by our minds and all sorts of other things. Giving us greater power. How about that?
Excellent work.
I can see it's going to be one of those evenings.
I nearly wanted to say, but you are not a Jedi yet. Sorry. Let's move on. Let's take hands in our circle. Towards the one, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of Guidance. And let's say it again, because especially if you are very familiar with the invocation, it's quite easy to start the autopilot. Let's see if we can bring our conscious attention to every word. We'll use the expanded version this time. Towards the one, the perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the message, the mystery, the miracle, the Mother, the Spirit of Guidance. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's begin with a Bismillah.
Can I just say something about that? Concentrating on the invocation. I quite often say that in the morning to myself, and I have. If I don't maintain my concentration on each word and imagining something to do with each word, I have to go back and do it again. And you would be surprised at how many times I have to go back and do it again. Even if it's just the last word, I drift off.
So here we are. Bismillah Ir-Rahman, Ir-Rahim.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
So, in the presence of the beloved, in the presence of unity, we affirm that the nature of that beloved being is all love, mercy and compassion. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. So I invite you to stand if you can, because we're going to take this practice of concentration into movement. We're going to repeat it 4 times with little micro steps to the right, and then 4 times with little micro steps to the left. So it's about keeping track not only of the words and a sense of the meaning and what that has for you, but also of the number of counts, and see if you can catch me out. You have to drum this one. So starting with the right foot, sidestepping to the right. And just maintaining the concentration, a few more breaths, breathing Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ameen. That was a challenge to our concentration. There was a delivery man knocking at the window. I've got a number of pieces to read this evening, hopefully not too long, but just this is a section from Hazrat Inayat about concentration. Singlemindedness. Thank you, love. Singlemindedness as a nature becomes a great help to concentration. People with a great many responsibilities and people with a great many interests in life cannot keep up single-mindedness, which indeed is a great power. This nature can be developed by concentration, but one can develop this nature by a great many things in everyday life which help towards its development. It is a first essential thing for one who practices concentration to allow one thought at a time or one action at a time, and to keep mind and body busy together. When a person does something, they should not be thinking of another thing while doing it. And if one wishes to think out something, one must not be doing something at the same time. Single-mindedness is complete absorption of one's whole being in a single thought, speech, or action. Also, there is another side to it. Single-mindedness can be developed by dwelling on a subject until the thought be finished, and while thinking on the subject, not allowing the mind to take up another subject. The same law should be observed in speech. One must not change the topic in the midst of the speech. And the same law should be observed in action. One must busy oneself in action without taking up anything else until the action undertaken be finished. In this way, one can develop concentration at every moment of the day and night. And by acquiring this, one acquires mastery over one's own life, as well as over life in general. So sometimes Hazrat Inayat Khan sets a high bar, but it's something to aspire towards, and I guess something to notice when that's not what's happening, that single-mindedness, because the first sort of stage on the journey is to notice when it's not happening. I think there's a phrase that we've used called unflinching, compassionate self-witnessing. And I think the compassionate part of that is really important. But the unflinching part is what also will help us to develop these qualities. So with forgiveness for when it doesn't happen, compassion for when it doesn't happen, but bringing the mind back or bringing the actions back to that awareness.
I can say it's particularly challenging these days to maintain that focus because of these things. I go into my phone to do one thing and I find myself doing about 5 other things and forgetting what it was that I went on my phone to do in the first place. And that's that's the first thing I thought of when you were doing that reading, was the challenges to us now are enormous to maintain our focus.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Hazrat Inayat Khan often talks about the pace of life and how much faster it all is than it used to be. And he's writing 100 years ago. You think, what do you think if you could see it now? But, yeah. So shall we try another dance?
Yes.
Why not? Another chance to practice this single-mindedness in movement. Which one would you like to do?
Let's do the Tara Zikr. So this is an interesting dance. So the words are Om Tare,
Om Tare,
Tu Tare,
Tu Tare,
Ture Soha.
Ture Soha.
Om Tare, Tu Tare,
Om Tare, Tu Tare,
Ture Soha.
Ture Soha.
So this is Sanskrit, and this is generally a Buddhist mantra towards towards Tara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. Well, I suppose we should sing it, shouldn't we? Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Sing with me. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. So you'll notice that we have a period when we're not singing. So we sing the tune and the mantra, and then we pause for the same length and same length of time. And we will be doing the same movements during the silent part as we are when we're singing. And the challenge, the invitation is to maintain the concentration on the movements of the feet if you're able to stand and move, and also to remember not to sing in the gap.
But are we repeating the phrase on the breath?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So we can repeat the phrase on the breath. That will help. Just breathing the same mantra internally. Thank you for reminding me about that.
My pleasure.
So, very simple foot movements. I should be wearing dark socks, shouldn't I? That would have helped. So we're going, oh dear, can't see my feet. Forwards with the right, back on the left, twice, and then we step across to the left with the right foot, bring the left to join it, back on the right, and left to join it. So it's a sort of little bit of a grapevine at the end there, and then we'll start again by stepping back to the right and moving right so that we keep ourselves without disappearing off the screen. Anything else you want to suggest?
Do you want to put it onto a gallery?
Oh yeah. Oh. So if you can't see my feet, watch Jelani's feet because she's got black socks on. If she can play the guitar and do the steps at the same time, I'm sure she can.
That's my challenge.
Om tare tu re so. forward to help all those in need. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Let's just all sing Om together. Soha.
So I'm going to read a little bit from the Physicians of the Heart about this next wazifa, Ya Raqib. So this is what they say. Our Raqib combines the qualities of protection and watchfulness. Its meaning of watching over integrates two concepts: to watch the stars until the dawn comes, and to watch a baby while it is sleeping. Raqib means to fully give loving attention, and at the same time to possess the inner quietude that makes real concentration possible. The best technique for learning to concentrate is to awaken loving interest for the object of concentration, and to use this love as a focus for one-pointed attention. Concentration can best be held and grow within the context of caring for what we love. From Raqib comes Murakkabah, an advanced Sufi technique of concentration that begins with watching the breath. Raqib brings expanded awareness of the inner world, taking one beyond the physical into the metaphysical. Repetition of Ya Raqib is helpful in attaining focus in your concentrations. It's just a little tiny bit more about this practice of Murakkabah. This advanced Sufi practice of concentration that begins with merging with the rising and falling of the breath. The one-pointedness attained by patient, loving attention to the present moment results in a liberating unity of consciousness. Murakkabah is pure, passive, loving observation without any clinging. Such loving attention allows you to be interested in whatever is arising. You are interested, but you are non-reactive.
Does make me connect with the chant that we were just sharing, being Tara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. If we're embodying that, then we are focusing with loving attention.
Mm-hmm. So let's do some repetitions of Ya Raqib. I love those images of watching the stars until the dawn comes and watching over a sleeping baby. It's this loving attention. And we can bring that to our inner world, just watching with love all that arises inside. The compassionate part of it is so fundamental, so that we go beyond judging ourselves and beating ourselves up for whatever happens, whatever arises. Just witnessing it with ever present, wakeful lovingness. Ya Raqib, 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 Ya Raqib. So bringing this conscious, wakeful, loving attention to every repetition. Ya Raqib, 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 Ya Raqib. Just like watching the stars until morning, staying awake, watching over a sleeping baby with this loving attention. Ya Raqib, 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 Ya Raqib. Let's repeat silently. Ya Raqib, breathing it in, breathing it out. Every breath bringing this loving, conscious awareness to whatever's arising. Staying present. Noticing every time the mind wanders and lovingly bringing it back to breathing Raqib. And now letting the words fall away and simply breathing with this loving, conscious attention to all that is arising, following the rise and fall of the breath. Amen. Would you like to lead the next dance? Or shall we have another reading first?
Maybe another reading.
Concentration is the chief means of attainment. Concentration does not mean sitting and thinking of a certain thing, but it means holding a certain idea or object in the mind at all times. The result of concentration depends upon how much one loves the object of attainment. However great a person may be in holding the thought firmly in mind, one cannot bring about as great results as a person who loves the object one holds in concentration. Love is all-powerful, and it naturally gives power in one's concentration. be it for a person, for wealth, for position, for knowledge, or for God. To want a thing is an easy matter, but to want it continually is a difficult thing. And how much time we waste on wanting things and then not wanting them. The great task in life is to watch our desires, to know, to understand, and to analyze what I want. Why do I want it? How can I get it? And what result will it be likely to bring about? It is the part of wisdom, when once you have studied and understood this question, to continue going forward intelligently, courageously, and steadily along the path of attainment, and to pursue until the end.
So the next chant is Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
So the traditional translation of this is Hail to the jewel in the lotus. And really this means, for me, all praise and thanks for the loving human heart, the infinite depths and expansion of love that arises from the human heart. And I just wondered, as Jelani was talking about, reading the words of Inayat Khan about a better way of finding a source of concentration is to concentrate on something that we love. And I was just thinking of inviting us whilst dancing this to maybe hold something or somebody that we love in our heart as we dance. So as well as focusing on the movement and the chant, also holding a concentration of loving attention towards something or somebody in our heart as we move. So this is the chant. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Sing. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. So if you're able to do these movements, very simple. Side-stepping to the right, side-stepping to the left, side-stepping to the right, and turning to the right. And we might need to do a little bit of reset, make sure we don't all drift off to the right. Anything you'd like to say, love? No? So, to the right. So just to remind you, let's see if we can add to this dance a concentration of loving attention. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Turn to the right. Om Mani right. Om Mani Padme Hum. Left. Om Mani Padme Hum. Right. Om Mani Padme. Turn to the right. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Just the low voices. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme. Continue. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. High voices. Again. Let's sing Om again together. Svaha.
I was just having a sense that we can experience that loving focus and concentration as the jewel in the heart. That concentration which becomes this dense and sparkling jewel.
Well, I was trying while I was leading that dance to focus, and I have to say it was quite a challenge to keep an image there and that sense of loving attention whilst moving and following the music and the movements at the same time. So certainly something to practice, to develop concentration.
There's another reading I'm looking for. Where did I put it? I seem to have lost it.
Whilst Jelani is searching, this could be an opportunity just to concentrate on the breath. I'm not sure whether she's found what she's looking for.
Well, I did find what I was looking for, but I'm not sure whether it was quite as relevant as I thought it was. But maybe I'll read it anyway. This is from Samuel Lewis, 40 Lessons on the Breath. And he says, disharmonies arise because of clashes in the rhythm of breath. These disharmonies can be removed by singing, dancing, devotion, and esotericism. Therefore, Sufis use wazifas and practice zikr not only to bring peace and harmony to each person, but also to each group. And it just was reminding me that these practices, that all of the chants that we recite or that we sing and the movements that we do, they're all helping us to come more and more into harmony with ourselves, harmony with each other, and this is all developing that loving, one-pointed concentration. And somebody's put in the chat, joy is crucial in concentration and focus, and certainly that's true, and also love, of course. So we're going to finish with a dance about love, just reminding you what I read before. The result of concentration depends upon how much one loves the object of attainment. However great a person may be in holding a thought firmly in mind, they cannot bring about as great results as a person who loves the object they're holding in concentration. So it really comes back again to, do what you love, and that's it's so much easier to have that concentration and focus when it's something that you love. So this is words in Hebrew. Sham etain et dodailach.
Sham etain et dodailach.
I'll break that up a little bit. Sham etain
Sham etain
et dodailach.
et dodailach.
And these are words from the Song of Solomon, and they could be translated, there you will find my love, there I will give you my love. So we can practice in the dance this loving concentration, this watching lovingly over a sleeping baby, or staying up all night watching the stars, that sense of Ya Raqib, bringing that into this dance. Here's the melody. Sham etain et dodailach. 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 So I'll just stand and show you the movements. So we're beginning, it's like half a grapevine. We step to the left and then we step behind with the right foot. And there's this sense of opening the heart and feeling our longing and love. We can really feel this object of our loving concentration. And we just repeat that. So, Sham etain et dodailach. Now we go the other way, step right. Sham etain et dodailach. Then we're going to come in and our hands come together, and it's like there, focusing this concentration, this loving concentration just right there. Sham etain et dodailach. And then we're taking that out as we turn out into all the wider places as well. Sham etain et dodailach. Then we're going to step in and we're coming into arms around in our circle. So we're bringing our community together, feeling the love for each other. Sham etain et dodailach. And stepping out. Sham etain et dodailach. Sham etain et dodailach. To the right. Sham etain et dodailach. 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 Sham High voices. Close, and we'll sing it one more time through. Here you will find my love. Here I will give you my love. And let's take a moment before we start just to find that jewel, that bright, shining, loving focus in the heart of each one of us, really bringing to mind something that is the focus of our loving concentration, our loving attention. There I will give my love to that. Amen. And so the invitation is to bring this loving awareness, this loving concentration into your daily life. Whether you practice repeating Ya Raqib, or whether you remember when you can to watch the rise and fall of your breath, to stay one-pointed as much as you can, coming into that concentration on whatever you're doing, finishing the thought, finishing the sentence, finishing the action. And also remembering the loving, compassionate awareness of what is, including all of the times that we forget. Anything else you'd like to add?
I was just reflecting about, thinking about the heart, and we talk often about the light of love shining out of the heart, and I was thinking that sometimes it works for me just to think of this wonderful dark enfolding nature of the heart that encloses. Sometimes that works better for me.
So allowing the object of your focus to sink into the heart, is that right?
I guess so. To be embraced by loving darkness, rather than necessarily a shining brightness. Just a thought.
I just have an image of digging in the dark soil and finding that bright jewel hiding in there. So, if any benefit has accrued from what we've done here today, may it be for all beings, and let's share our blessing of that. May